So there's this movie where these two dumb guys are at a diner and they piss off some other people. Looks like a really tough guy and his friends. And one of them says he gets this idea. He has this idea, so he's gonna go over. He goes over to them at their table, and he says, "Hey guys, I just want to clear the air. We're really sorry. We would like to pick up your tab." I think he says we want to buy you guys a round of beers. And the guy says something like, "Make it four Boilermakers." And so that guy, that dumb guy, he goes up to the cashier and he says, that guy over there just said he'd pay for our bill. So he does that. And then the woman's like, "Are you sure?" And then the tough guy is like thinking that they're gonna get a free round of Boilermakers. So the dumb guy and his friend, they rush out. They leave. Well, about 8 years before that, there was this other movie with a guy who looks really familiar, and he walks into this diner, sits down at a table, and at the table was a guy who wanted to hurt him, and he points out that there's a police officer right near them, and he says basically, "You're a felon. You've done this and this and this crime, and I'm pretty sure that your parole officer wouldn't want to know that you're out of state." And he points out all these things that this bad guy could get in trouble for. And then he says, "All right, I'm going to need you to give me your keys." And the guy can't say no because if if the first guy starts and he says anything, police are there. So then he says, "Also give me your wallet." The bad guy is like fuming, but he has to. And then the familiar guy, he says, "You know what though? Look, to prove that we're all good, I'm gonna pick up the tab." And he holds the check up. So he walks up to the cashier, and then all we see as the audience, all we see is he walks up to the cashier, and immediately the waitress walks over and says, "Oh, that guy says you're gonna pay the bill." Now, the bad guy just had his wallet taken, his car taken, and he can't say anything because the cops are right there, and he has no money to pay the bill. So, like, he's stuck where he is. If you don't know, that was Dumb and Dumber from 1994. And in 1986, the movie Something Wild, starring Jeff Daniels, Melanie Griffith, and Ray Liotta, had a very similar scene. I just learned like yesterday that the movie that Jim Carrey was referencing in Dumb and Dumber with Jeff Daniels was a movie from 1986 starring Jeff Daniels. Tell me if you knew that. I think it's hilarious. I love those little inside joke type things, and I love that he referenced the Jeff Daniels movie to Jeff Daniels. That's so great. And first off, Baby Ray Liotta did amazing. He was such a scary bad guy in that movie, but and he played crazy really well. But I love it. Tell me if you remember or if you've ever seen the movie Something Wild, and if you haven't seen Dumb and Dumber, you need to. So, yeah, okay, nostalgia rules.